Hey guys, it's the Flat Top King. Hey, we just got done making this awesome Alice Springs Outback style chicken. We put my twist on it, of course. I'm telling you what, it's juicy, it's flavorful, and it is absolutely fantastic. Watch this. All right, to get this party started, we have 4 large chicken breasts. You guys have seen me do this many times. We need to do some trimming because if you're going to cook whole chicken breast on the griddle, you gotta equal the playing field, as they say. You don't want dry chicken, so you try to equal out the fat parts versus the thin parts. Obviously, in a restaurant, these chicken breasts are extremely large, so you wouldn't have that problem. They're dialed down way, way, way back. So this is kind of how I'm gonna do it, okay? Let this kind of be the guide, about right there. Actually, that's not bad at all. We could probably
just pound it out a
We
little.
could probably pound that one out just a little bit. See, I'm pounding that fat part to the thin part. You can obviously use a skillet, a mallet. I've mentioned before, when you stretch your meat out, like on a pork tenderloin, and it gets really, really thin, I actually like to make my meat thicker, especially on a smoker because it takes longer to cook. On a griddle, it's the exact opposite, especially when you have thicker pieces of meat. But you can actually come back in just a hair when you put it on the griddle and tighten that chicken up like that. And that's a fantastic looking breast right there. I think I'm gonna keep it just like that. So that's the idea. That's how we're gonna make all the other ones. All right, the chicken's pounded out, so now we need to make the dressing. We're making a little bit more dressing. We're not gonna add it all to the chicken so we can save some on the back side. So really quickly. All right, little trick, just oil the inside your measuring cup, and we're gonna go 1/4 cup twice, and that makes, thank you.
1/2 cup.
Good.
We need some new measuring cups.
Mine are horrendous.
This one has lost its handle.
I know, embarrassing. If you're interested, this recipe will be on the flattopking.com. A lot of people lately have been going to the website and they'll say, hey, what about the measurements and the ingredients? Well, if you scroll to the bottom of the page, you can get all that. Sometimes we just put the ingredients up at the top, just so you know what kind of ingredients you need. And then there's also typically a button, is it all the time, that says jump to recipe.
Yep.
That's at the top of the page. If you do that, it'll take you right to the exact measurements and how-tos.
And you can print the recipe off really nicely. Create your own Flat Top King cookbook for free.
They're gonna be selling it to me. All right, what do we say? 1/2 cup and 1/2 cup. This is Dijon mustard. And 1/4 cup of mayo. Going with 1/4 of a lemon. About a tablespoon, tablespoon and a half, something like that. A little salt. A little pepper. And we're gonna give this a good mix. Alrighty, so a piece of chicken. Just a little bit of sauce. Kind of toss that, get that in there. A lot of recipes seem like they say they marinate it. Honestly, I just don't see how chicken can absorb that much mayonnaise. There's not really a lot of citrus in there. So we're going to basically just go in with the recipe. So as soon as these bad boys get coated, we're going to start the rest of the recipe. I don't envision chicken taking on a ton of flavor from honey mustard. Maybe I'm wrong. Kind of like a philosophy that I have, especially dealing with like mayonnaise as a binder. I feel like it acts as a barrier for the seasonings. I don't know. You guys comment below. Tell me what you think. I'm wrong. You understand. I just think all the fats and the oils that are in mayonnaise acts as a natural barrier for acids and stuff like that to penetrate. All right, we have some very, very, very light prep work. Extremely easy recipe. I'm going to cut the onions up as garnish. So I'm going to thinly slice these. I'm even going to keep the whites in there. I kind of like the rawness that it gives. Mushrooms, looky there. Had them already cut up for you. Not a big deal. I switched up the cheese a little bit. Typically, the recipe calls for Colby Jack. Honestly, I like pepper jack too. So it's one of those recipes where I tell you all the time, you're the one eating it. You might as well make what you like. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna add a little pepper jack. I'm gonna grate both of them completely. All right, The recipe calls basically for 1 strip of bacon per chicken breast.
That's it?
4 chicken breasts equals, thank you.
Not enough bacon.
No. But I am going to go and cook the whole pack of bacon. The griddle's already on. The kids will eat it. We'll have it for a snack, something, so.
Ooh, BLT's lunch tomorrow.
The griddle's on low. Just these 2 burners. I think we can accomplish most of today's cook. By zone cooking, I don't really feel like there's a need to turn on the other side of the griddle. I've also got my dome rack set up. Dealing with chicken breast, the last thing you want to do is cook it to temperature, add everything on there, and then like kind of overcook it. So getting it off the griddle, no matter if you use this one or another one, I've got that in the links in the description below. But getting it off the griddle is going to be key. You still want that chicken to be moist. Our bacon's done. I'm just bringing that oil back up because my griddle runs downhill. You can see that it's going down the griddle nicely. All those food bits, we can just move over to the side. We don't want those burnt bacon bits. Nice and oiled surface. Honestly, it probably doesn't need it because the mayonnaise is oil itself. I feel like this recipe is a debacle for a griddle. But one thing's for sure, about to find out. Because absolutely amazing. Oh, it does smell good. It's greasy as can be. All right. As you can see, I hope you get a good visual of this. I'm going to try to teach you. Our chicken breasts look extremely even. That's what you want. You don't want the big chunks on the head side with the thin tails on the tail side. You want to try to even that out as much as you can. 4 strips of bacon. Just a rough chop. You know what I just thought of? This is extremely similar to our chicken bacon ranch skewers. I guess it is different in a large way. But
some of the same ingredients. A lot of the same ingredients.
Chicken, bacon, and cheese. Instead of ranch, we have honey mustard. Who knew? All right. Looking for color on the bottom because this is going to be your presentation side. I guess really not because it's going to be covered and smothered and all that stuff. But I'm going to try to find a new landing zone right there.
And it's been about 7 minutes.
Now, my griddle temperature and your griddle temperature are going to be 2 different ones because I've got mine on low. Your low is different than my low. When I put it on there, it's about 450. The temperature has dropped significantly. We shot around the temps. It was anywhere between like 275 or like 280 to about 325, depending on where I shot the gun. Depending on how big your chicken breasts are. Depends on how cool your chicken breasts are when you get them out of the refrigerator. All that goes into effect, which is why I typically don't harp on temperatures that much. The most important thing is your internal temperature of your chicken. I pulled the chicken back. I put my dome on there. I was going to use it anyways. Just speeds up that process. Since my Halo 2 burners are running this way, which I guess all griddles run that way, I guess. I'm able to use that back space to go and start the mushrooms. All right, as your chicken gets done, they're obviously going to get done at different times. You can go ahead and pull them. I'm honestly looking about 155 because we're going to still have them on the griddle surface, just elevated. So we've got a couple more minutes.
Clean as you go with this recipe.
Oh yeah, all those sugars in there. The good news is that you got all that mayonnaise, which helps as a fat, acts as a fat, and it doesn't stick to your griddle near as bad, but you got to get it off when your griddle's hot. That's the best time to do it. Get those mushrooms a little flavor, a little salt and pepper. All right. Now we really need to focus on cleaning as you go. You don't want this stuff to be caked on your griddle. Add just a little bit to the chicken. Kind of let that seep in there. I think this sauce is going to be the key to the flavor. I don't think you're really going to pick up much from the griddle. I think it's all going to be like just kind of like burned off as you cook it. So adding this sauce right back to it is going to be key. Mushrooms. Might even come back in and top it just a little bit more sauce. Some of that Colby Jack, pepper jack, bacon. I guess really one piece was probably enough for each. Oh, right before I add the green onions, I want to add sauce one more time. I just feel like if you're going to do it right, you know, you got to have that sauce as the key. Let it melt in there with the cheese. And then just for a little color, little green onion. I'm gonna move it over really quick, find those good pieces of bacon, put them back on there. I'm not losing that for nothing. There's a good mushroom. And then just clean up a little bit. You don't want all this junk on the griddle. Well, it looks scrumptious. Juicy, 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 juicy. Got a little side dipping sauce, save just a little bit just in case. Well, it ain't bad. I honestly don't know if I've actually, ooh, that's juicy chicken. Look how juicy that chicken is. I don't know if I've actually ever ordered it. I'm sure I've tasted it when you've ordered it before.
Uh-huh.
It ain't bad. I am going to give you a tip. Try that son of a gun out. I like the addition of the pepper jack cheese. I truly do. It gave it just a little bit more oomph. The mushrooms are mild in it. The bacon stands out with a saltiness. You got the sweet. Pretty dang good. I'd eat that twice on Sundays. All right, I did have a concern going in. I tried to hold it back. I mentioned it earlier. I just thought it was gonna be a train wreck. Anytime you add mayonnaise to something, it's just full of oils. Then you follow that up with honey. To me, in my mind, it mimics like the idea of an Asian dish on the griddle. All the sugars and stuff like that. It was a bear to clean because those chicken stayed on the griddle a long time. I'm telling you, if you try this, regardless of the recipes out there, I truly feel like there's not a benefit of marinating the chicken in mayonnaise, regardless what's in it, because there's not enough lemon juice to cut it. I would recommend griddling the chicken like normal. And then right at the very end, load it down with like this sauce right here, and then stack it like we did. I think.
Like baste it, kind of?
No, once your chicken's done, I'd put it on the cooling rack and then maybe put a little bit more like sauce when you layer it. Because I truly don't think, do you think that the chicken picked up any of the marinade? I know we didn't marinate it long.
No, it's definitely more of like a sauce.
Exactly.
Not a marinade.
But the hassle to be on the griddle, you saw as much as I took to clean the griddle, clean as you go, move stuff over, scrape it down. Get out of here, B. That's what I would do. You guys do you. Maybe somebody out there makes it the way I made it. I'm like, hey, yeah, I think that putting the chicken on the griddle is just a more efficient and effective and probably tastier way than to marinate it in the mayonnaise sauce and then put it on the griddle. That's up to you. If you guys make it, comment below. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing. If you guys are interested, we have a join button down below. It's a membership program. We thank each and every one of you for taking time for doing so. Check us out on The Griddle Group on Facebook, where I'll find inspiration from you guys, because you guys are the one that's making stuff all the time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound the notification button, share it with your friends. Peace. One take wonder.
It is good, baby. That's just perfectly cooked chicken.